Good morning and welcome. Question: would you put some petrol in a diesel engine, or would you put some diesel in a petrol engine? One of them might be cheaper than the other. Of course you wouldn't. Why wouldn't you? Because it's not the right type of fuel to put in the vehicle, and no doubt the vehicle would break down. If you look around at all the species on this planet, we are the only species that heat our foods. Now, I'm not implying that you don't heat your foods, but be aware that once the temperature goes, I think it's above 122 degrees Fahrenheit, you will kill all the enzymes on that food. If you also look around, do you see animals consuming foods at fixed periods of time? Let's say breakfast, lunch and dinner. I think that we're the only species on the planet that fix our times to do that. Interesting. Do you see any other animals on this planet that consume milk after their weaning years? Think about it. My next question: do you see any animals on this planet drinking somebody else's milk? No, but we do, and we're intelligent. Oh dear. What's my point? Well, if you are not consuming foods, and I mean by foods those things that have been on our planet for the last, say, 10,000 years or 2.6 million years, then you are basically consuming a demineralised, denatured, dead, dysfunctional product. Remember, anything with a shelf life will not have a self life. I know it tastes good. So 2 of what I call part of the 7 sins are white flour. Let's label it as gluten. Between 50 and 60% of you listening to this will be gluten intolerant. And what it basically does is it damages the intestinal wall, and it will allow the sugars to pass through, converts into what we call antigens, and the antigens is attacked by your body's immune system, mainly secretory IgA, and that causes edema and loads of other problems like probably arthritis and further down the line cancers. Again, those are just some of my beliefs and what I've mentally abused myself reading. The next thing is sugar. It's a Class A drug. Again, if you've listened to my previous recordings, now that I've told you that, what kind of reaction are you getting? How dare they have that in their food? Notice you're fighting your reality. The thing is, you and I have a smarter choice to make by choosing something else to consume. So here's some more food for thought. Unless you could chase the food, in other words, it has eyes, fish, poultry, beef, chicken, yeah, meats. Unless you can rip it out the ground, or pull it off a bush, or climb up a tree and get it, then you and I have a smarter choice to make. Because that, my friends, is the fuel right for the human being. Foods. Now, the challenge for you would be to find the right ratio of the macronutrients, which will contain the micronutrients, unless of course you heat the food. And that's only been happening for the last, I think, 125,000 years. We've actually been heating our foods. So my suggestion would be to consume some raw foods, like your carrots. Or if you do cook your carrots, don't chop them up. Boil them or steam them as best for a short period of time. Because once you start killing the enzymes, your body has to work harder to break that food down, assuming that you masticize it and turn it to liquid before you swallow it. So here's another one of my tidbits. Make sure that you drink your solids and chew your liquids, because the enzymes are produced in the mouth. Also, you'll have some produced in the stomach. They'll also be on the food if you haven't heated them beyond 122 degrees Fahrenheit. Is this starting to make sense to you? So if you would like to take control of your health, 4th on my list of the optimal health, the 10 habits to vitality, eat the foods right for you. I do strongly recommend that you do your own homework and find out about metabolic typing, because it is individualised, and you will then be able to know what type of foods to eat that are right for you. It's not like a destination. Remember, it's a journey, because there might macronutrients, fats, carbs and protein. So when you've eaten some food and within a short period of time you still feel hungry, or you're craving for something, or you're bouncing off the walls, or you've got highs and lows, then that's your body communicating to you to tell you that you didn't put the right fuel in. So like I said at the start, would you possibly think about putting the wrong type of fuel in your vehicle because, let's say, it was cheaper? No, you wouldn't. And yet you and I would take shortcuts on our health. And is it true that we dig our graves one fork at a time? Over to you. So how about going on a wonderful journey to your superstore, which, as an addendum, generally sells between 90 and 95% dysfunctional, denatured, demineralised foods. Actually, that is a correction, they're called products. Remember, a food is that which has been on the planet for 10,000 or say 300 years. And you can eat it because it's whole and alive. So when you go to your superstore, once you find the vegetable and fruit aisle, allow your mind to run wild. Imagine you're a child and you've suddenly been let loose. And you're going to pick this, you're going to pick that, and just put it in your trolley. And if you had it 10 years ago and you didn't like it, have another go. You can taste your taste buds. I never used to like avocados. I never used to like watermelons. I never used to like parsnip or turnip. All those things I like now, because you can change your taste buds. The meat aisle. If you can get to know your local farmers, fantastic. Less air miles. Organic is best because that means the animal wasn't injected with antibiotics and or growth hormones. Great choice. If you have chicken, eat the whole thing. Again, make sure it's organic. So hopefully these little tidbits will just remind you to consume the right fuel, because if you wouldn't think of putting the wrong fuel in your vehicle, what's going on here? And that's because we've been conditioned by our media. And obviously wherever you go, and it's so ubiquitous, you can pick up a little snack bar that contains either gluten, let's call it white flour, or sugar, which in order to be absorbed, digested, assimilated and eliminated, it will cost more than it will deliver to you. Yes, it tastes good for some of you, not for all of you, but you are putting another nail in your coffin. And if you would like to enjoy more time and create more pleasurable moments on this wonderful planet, then you and I have smarter choices to make. I hope this makes sense to you. I know it's my main passion to do with nutrition, but please go forth and find the foods that you like the taste of and add variety into it, because you have in your body over 50 trillion cells, and when you consume anything, all of them are affected. Every single cell will be affected by that, and they're all crying out for stuff. And the interesting thing is they're all programmed to keep you healthy. But like your vehicle, if you put the wrong fuel in it, it'll eventually tell you that it's not happy and it'll break down. Does that make sense? So enjoy and have fun. My love to you all. Have a fantastic weekend. Bye for now.